Thursday, everyone. It is Scott Wohlers with River Place Capital. It is Thursday, June the 25th. And wow, has it been an interesting week in the markets, and wanted to just go over what we see going on in the markets, what's been happening, what's moving markets, and just recap what's happened last week. And as we rolled in, last week was an up week where we continued to see the winners of the recovery continue to be the winners moving forward, and especially the S&P 500 outperforming, and the NASDAQ especially outperforming maybe your small, mid cap, and more cyclical named stocks. And the trend is continuing, and we saw it into this week where we saw a record close on Tuesday for the NASDAQ 1000, which is primarily made and heavily weighted in tech and biotech and those companies that have been the leaders through this recovery in the stock market, as well as the leaders on the way down as through the market sell-off in March, and have really led us forward through April, May, and June. And then we were faced Wednesday. We got the news in the morning that we had seen a record number of cases across the country of COVID-19 as we continue to reopen the country. One of the things that we've said at River Place is undoubtedly as we reopen the economy and as we reopen things and as people start moving and going and starting doing things again, that we would see a rise in cases, and that this was just going to have to be an acceptable risk that we are going to take as a society so that our economy does not continue to suffer even more. And one of the other things that led into a pretty steep sell-off yesterday in the marketplace, and that was on Wednesday. And another key driver of that, as well as the IMF cut their global outlook for growth for this year, where it was at a negative 3% GDP. They cut to a negative 4.9% GDP. And you saw those negative headlines about COVID-19 and the growth overall really lead markets down to the worst day they had since June 11th, where we had been pretty much on a tear upwards from June 11th on, recovering much of that sell-off. And so as we move forward, one of the things that investors are going to have to weigh is, as we reopen, are we going to press pause on the reopenings? Are we going to continue to reopen? How is this going to impact the economy as a whole? How is this going to impact the market? And have to weigh the risk that's there. Now, are we going to have another complete shutdown? We do not believe so. We may see, and you are seeing some states, instead of moving to the next phase of the reopening, or pausing where they are right now. But one of the things that we continue to be optimistic about is the economic data that is coming in is not as bad as feared, and is actually better than expected. So again, if you are an investor with a long-term time horizon, when you have these days that are big, sharp sell-offs, look at those as buying opportunities, as we believe, as we continue to reopen and move forward, that we will continue to rebound and move upward in the marketplace, as well as in the economy as well. We will start to see a recovery sooner rather than later. And as always, if you have any questions with what's going on in the markets or how it's impacting you, feel free to give us a call anytime. We love to sit down and talk about it, or how it's impacting your portfolio. Feel free to give us a call anytime. You can reach us at 904-346-3460, or as always, check us out online at www.riverplacecapital.com. I hope everyone continues to stay safe and healthy and have a great rest of your week. Thanks.